We are live.
Raven, the GS, one third of the Sam, the legend behind the techie.
We are live, guys. I'm Sam, Mr. Blitz Tech,
And I'm Raven, the GS.
I'm Joe, one third of the cyber nerds.
and this is Green Book Movie Review. So, we start with the genre. This is a drama comedy directed by Peter Ferrelli. Sorry if I butcher any names in advance, after Peter, that is. The cast includes Viggo Mortensen. Mortensen, thank you very much. Whew, it's going to get worse from here. Mahershala Ali. No,
That's right, that was right.
Okay, Mahershala Ali. And Linda Cardellini. Oh my lord.
Cardinelli Dolores.
And I'll pronounce her name in there. Anyway, this was released in November 16th, 2018. And the story goes, Dr. Don Shirley is a world-class African-American pianist who is about to embark on a concert tour in the deep south in 1962. He needs a driver and protection, so Shirley recruits Tony Lip, a tough-talking bouncer from an Italian-American neighborhood in the Bronx. Despite their differences, the two men soon develop an unexpected bond which confront racism and danger in the era of segregation. So, Ray, what do you think of the story?
I love this story. I love how two worlds who are divided by segregation and ignorance, not just on their part, but it's just the environment, come together. Obviously, this doctor, this pianist, who obviously doesn't see it through it, and they embark on this journey and they go through all these trials and tribulations and they form this beautiful relationship, which is funny, charismatic. They clash, they fight, and they come together as friends. Loved it.
Joe, what are you saying?
Yeah, I love this story as well. This movie is about it's about race, it's about segregation, it's about identity, it's about who. It's not just about who you are, it's about what makes you who you are, or is because you do A, B, and C, does that make you this, or does that make you that? Like, I love the story that these two embark on, and I love that this is based on events that are that are real. I love that because it shows that in real life, like not that I haven't experienced it myself, but it shows that it's putting it out there for people who may be ignorant to these kind of things, that two people from two vastly different worlds who grew up in different households and experienced different things can come together and work together and do you know what I'm saying, and be lifelong friends. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I love the story.
So yeah, that's what you guys kind of touched on. Like, this story is kind of beautiful the way it come across, like based on a true story. One person's from one background, one person's from another, where he's hired to like challenge the society he's going into, and the other person doesn't quite understand why he's kind of doing that. But through, like you said, the trials and tribulations and getting to know each other, getting to know their own backgrounds, you kind of see where each person's coming from, and it forms like a very beautiful bond and relationship throughout the whole movie. So, acting wise, Joe, what are you saying?
For me, my standout is Viggo Mortensen. I mean, I feel like he plays Tony the Lip, and he just delivers to me on both ends. On the dramatic side, he delivers, as well as the comedy, he delivers as well. But I feel like throughout the whole movie, I was just excited to see how, do you know what I'm saying, how he dealt with certain scenarios. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he's a very tough, hard guy. He's very stubborn in the movie. Do you know what I'm saying? And at sometimes his stubbornness is his downfall, and that sometimes it is the thing that uplifts him. Do you get what I'm saying? And I love to see. I feel like Viggo Mortensen like portrayed that like perfectly through him. Do you know what I'm saying? And his ability to bounce off Mahershala Ali's character as well. So Viggo stood out for me big time.
Raven, what's up?
I mean, it's gonna be hard to follow Joe after touched on Viggo, but Mahershala Ali also does a brilliant job being this black man who's different. He's a different guy, and I feel that I got that character, that person that went through those difficulties, but also through the fame. I mean, there were peak moments where this guy, I loved when he played the piano, and I'm not sure if he practiced, but it was very, very convincing that you are a pianist. You know what I mean? Like, and there's one thing you always did after finishing, which was that smile. Like, and that was like almost like a signature. I loved it. Like, and I always wanted to see that smile whenever he finished. And I was always like, yeah, give us that smile, give us that smile. Like, and I just loved the way he presented himself. You know, something very out of this world. The way he took things in, whether it was positive or negative, like you could see, you know, he didn't speak much, but you know, just his facial expression and the way he spoke, beautiful. I loved it.
Well, for me, I really think you can't have one without the other. Like, these two were picked perfectly. Two peas in the pod. Viggo without Mahershala. Like, very difficult to say, for me, to pick apart. Their relationship in this movie is what carries the whole movie. Like, one scene from the next, even if it's the individual or together, they just bounce off each other as if they actually are lifetime friends. Like, they portray the guys who are in real life. Like, you would actually think, like, are these like the reincarnations of these other characters like today? But yeah, these guys stole the show all the time.
Sorry, there's something I want to jump in on that right before we move on. In this movie, yeah, there's a line that's like where being black in 1962 and being a genius is not enough. Like, when I heard this line in this movie, like, it destroyed me inside, innit? Because Mahershala Ali's character, Don Shirley, is more educated than everyone in the movie. He's more talented. He's like, where he's at, there's that, he's a rock star. Like, he's everything. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, today, he's like The Rock today. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, probably even more talented than The Rock even, and more educated than The Rock. Get me? No disrespect to Dwayne The Rock Johnson. We love you. Get me? But like, and in 1962, that is not enough to eat at certain tables or to use certain bathrooms. Like, it is peak. And I loved what you said, Raven, about how he doesn't have many lines. He's so smart in this movie. Like, he spends so much time not talking, but you can see in his eyeballs that he is calculating. He is like making decisions. Like, he's doing so much. So like, Sam, what you're saying is right. Like, there's no one without the other. Do you know what I'm saying? His lack of speech empowers Viggo Mortensen's always talking. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so they definitely go together. Like, I just love both of them, man. Mad.
Alright, cool. Moving on to production. I'll start with this one. Like, they got the whole era of being in 1962, going through the Deep South, coming across all these predicaments that they come across with. Like you're saying, in certain parts you can't eat there, you can't like even sleep there, you can't be even seen in the same places are like basically white and black people. Obviously, some people still don't understand why. Some people like even fighting for it, even on even on the same side, and all that comes across quite nicely with like throughout the whole movie. Even like the whole look of it, like the cars, like the way they will come across. I can't remember what model it was. Obviously, in that kind of time, that was quite a popular, nice car, and just I like the whole like dress sense that they were going through, and yeah, like it's just a beautiful movie throughout, and the old. I think I might leave that to you still.
Oh, is it?
So yeah, alright, cool. What's saying?
I mean, it's a band. You know, they're touring. You know, they go through this journey. But to me, yeah, the music is nice. It bangs, is lit. But to me, the production, the most important part of the production, is the script that came with it. Like, it is just so deep that there are scenes that there's no words, and depending, and here's what's gonna the outcome of it is depending on who you are, what side of the fence you are, your experiences in life, that's how you're gonna see that scene. You know, this movie is about race, this movie is about experiences, this movie is about where you come from. So you as a viewer, when you are watching certain scenes, there's going to be different levels of feeling and emotions, and there are so many scenes, so peak, so emotional, so raw, that, you know, sometimes dialogue, there's no need for dialogue. You know, you just show it, and then that's it. And then you just pan out and you keep going.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head. I was thinking about what did I want to cover in production, but it's that, man. It's that the I'm watching this movie in 2018 about the story of 1962, and there's scenes happening that are making me ask myself, who are you? How does this affect you? What does this say about you? Do you know what I'm saying? Because I feel a certain way about this scene. Like, how do I think he's feeling about what's just happened? How do I feel like his friend feels? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I find myself just asking mad questions. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was like, it's so deep. And I feel like that's all production, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like they go into these scenes and they really make you think and ask yourself questions about who you are. And that's why I say this movie is all about identity, man. It's crazy. Like, production on it was really good, man.
Yeah, it really goes deep. Yeah, so Joe, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is this is a must-see for everyone. I mean, doesn't matter how old you are, young you are. If you're young, you need to see how things were back in the day. If you're old, you need to just, I don't know. You might have lived through it, but this is a good story. You know what I'm saying? This is just a good story for anyone to check out. Like, I really enjoyed this. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I think, yeah, I recommend it.
Raven?
Beautiful movie with a beautiful life lesson that actually happened. I'm very, very glad that we bumped into the trailer that we did a reaction for, because I did not know anything about this book. I did not know there was certain routes you had to go through, whether you was traveling, going on vacation in the US. So to me, not only this is a marvelous movie, but it's also it was like a history lesson. Like, I learned something. I came out of that the screening with something new knowledge, how things were done, and I'm just so happy that they delivered it and they put me in a place where I was able to take it all in, be part of their journey, be part of their struggle. And I just wish that there were some scenes that should have been a bit more raw. I think there were some scenes that should have been emotionally, at least for me, I'm speaking for me, I feel that something should have came out, you know, of some characters, simply because what they were going through at the time. I feel that they failed a little bit there, and that's why I don't give as high as I wanted to, simply because of that, only because of certain scenes.
See, for me, that's why I have to disagree, because we get that in like almost every other movie facing this kind of topic, where it's always so harsh hitting and trying to like make people super feel it. Like, that's what it was back in the day, and like that kind of stuff that they were going through, we want you to feel it. But here, it being a bit more playful, a bit more on the comedy side when it needed to be, and obviously very serious, but not too serious when obviously times got tough. That for me, I was like a breath of fresh air. Like, I wasn't, obviously it was emotional, but when they did the comedy side, I was like, oh, like, I felt kind of relieved at the same time. Like, these guys are still like okay at the end of the day, even though they were challenging what they wanted to do. And that's why I kind of like enjoyed the story. It was a good buddy traveling movie. Like I said, in every single scene, like very poetic. Like you guys were saying, like it seemed like every single scene was full of what they were gonna say, how they were gonna do it, how it was gonna be portrayed, all of that, all on point. I loved it. And that comes to the official rating from TCN. It is a 4.5 out of 5 sofas. It is a banger of a movie. Recommended. Go watch it. So have you read the book? Do you know about the story? Are you going to watch this movie? You should watch this movie. I'm Mr. Blitztech.
And I'm Revenue GS.
I'm Joe, one third of the Cyber Nerds.
And we'll see you on the next movie review. Peace.
Hey guys, it's me, Joe, one third of the Cyber Nerds. Appreciate you watching the last video. Check another one out here, or just go ahead and sign up to Patreon right now. Just do that thing. Anyway, catch you on the next video. Peace.